A little girl, aged 14. She lost her parents at the age of 10. The social services wanted to put her in a home. But once the social services poured out at some traffic lights, she quickly made her getaway, jumping out of the car and running as fast as she possibly could. Eventually, she found herself on a flat roof above a shop. Each day, she used to go down into the town to steal food. Only food, nothing else. Only enough food to keep her going for each day. On her 14th birthday, she was walking along the town. Christmas Eve, December the 24th. She could hear women talking as she passed. There goes the little thief. You must watch her, because she will have your purse out of your handbag if you gave her enough space. Beware. She came across a shop that she liked. She just liked standing, watching the beautiful dresses displayed in the window. She stayed there, gazing at the dress. Beautiful long gown, red as blood. She gazed at the shoes, how they shined. Also red as blood. On the same dummy, the arm holding a beautiful red as blood handbag. The whole outfit looked beautiful, and she could only dream of having clothes like this. The shopkeeper came out and she said, "This shop is not for the likes of you, little thief. Leave my shop entrance at once, or I call the police." The little girl turned, bowed her head, started walking. She came to another shop that she loved, just looking. She stood at the doorway of the shop with all of the beauty what was in. Teddy bears galore, Christmas cards, Christmas decorations, seeing a fairy on top of a Christmas tree. She stood and she gazed with a smile until the shopkeeper came and said, "Move on, little thief, move on. This shop is not for the likes of you. You are stopping customers coming into my shop because you are here. Move along, little thief, move along." She bowed her head, looking down on the pavement, and started moving away until she came to her most favourable shop of all. She gazed upon the fireplace, sitting well inside the shop. Little Christmas stockings hanging from the chimney breast. Beautiful Christmas carols played on a gramophone. teddy bears, sweets, cookies, shoes, handbags, dresses for very rich people, toys looks more for the rich than the poor. She gazed and gazed and gazed, dreaming this would be the shop that she could dream of, not just going in to have a look or to buy, but one day she would love to own. A lady started walking towards her. The little girl stood froze to see this beautiful woman with shining blonde hair, her dress white as snow, her lips so red as blood. Her face was like glass, so shiny as her eyes twinkled. She gazed at this fine figure of a woman walking towards. She froze to the spot. The woman stood in front of her and said, "Little girl, you look froze. Little girl, you've got no shoes on your feet. Your clothes is all torn, ragged, like they are very old. Come in and sit by the fire to keep yourself warm. I'll do you something to eat and have a drink." Are you talking to me? Of course, my dear, I'm talking to you. Come in. Don't hesitate. Don't stand there. Come in. Sit by the fire. The little girl went over and sat in front of the fire. The woman turned around and said she won't be long. Before the little girl knew it, she had on her lap a nice big plateful of stew, meat, carrots, potato, swede. She had 4 slices of bread, so she could dip in or soak up the juice of the stew. The woman turned around and said, "Now, Anne," the little girl was shocked. "You know my name? Of course I know your name. You're a very, very good girl." The little girl says, "No, I'm not. I'm a thief. Everybody knows me. Oh, the little thief. You steal for food, do you not?" "Yes, you steal food for enough for you to have a meal each day." "Yes." "And you class that stealing?" "Yes, because I haven't paid for it." "I class that as surviving. You don't go off into shops and pinch sweets, chocolates. You don't go into shops to pinch teddy bears, toys of any kind. You do it to survive. A lot of people could learn by you. And people nowadays who says that you're a little thief, I can tell you here and now, they wasn't so good when they was younger. "Oh, you know everybody in this town?" "Oh, my dear, I know everybody everywhere." "Oh, What's your name? The lady turned around and said, my name is Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus. Yes, Mrs. Claus. My mum and dad used to tell me about Father Christmas, Santa Claus and his wife, Mrs. Claus. Mrs. Claus just sat there and she smiled. Listen, and close your eyes. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I do not want you to open your eyes until I actually say, will you do this for me? And Anne turn around and say, okay, I'll give it a go. Right, so Anne, she closed her eyes. Mrs. Claus turned around and said, what would you like most as a Christmas present? Oh, that is easy for me. I would love a long red dress, a gown. Now, what about shoes? Oh, I would love shoes. I know the shoes that I would like is 3 inches high and they are red, but I'm only 14, so I would actually go for an inch heel. And what about handbags? Oh yes, handbags. I have my eye on one that I dream each day I could, and that again is a very, very red. Everything red as red like blood. Where would you like to stay if you had the chance? Oh, that is easy for me. I would say I would like to go and stay where the place is magical and you have little people running here and there making toys for other children. Mrs. Claus turned around and said, Anne, now open your eyes. Anne slowly opened her eyes. She gazed around. The room that she's in now was not the room that she was in before. She's seen the little elves running around making toys for the last presents to go out. She heard a ho ho ho. Mrs. Claus turned around and said, ha, my husband is on his way. Doors flung open and stood in front of her was this tall man, big built man, all dressed in red with a pure white beard. Her eyes lit up and he said, welcome, Anne. You know who I am? Yes, Father Christmas. Yes. I am going off for the night. Would you like to see the reindeer? Very much so. Yes, I would. So he took her hand and walked to the sleigh where the reindeer was lined up waiting to go. They all waved Father Christmas off. Mrs. Claus turned around and said, would you like to stay here? Here? Yes, here. Oh, I would love to stay here. You can class this as your home from now on.